Okay, welcome to our business show here on Uxbridge FM, and we're going to be running through a few tips today for when you're exhibiting your company at a trade show or expo type event. Our guest today is Geoff Langston, and Geoff, perhaps you can run through your experience first of all of helping people get the best from the trade shows or expos.
Yeah, so my passion about exhibitions, trade shows, expos, whatever you'd like to call it, comes from many years of visiting various trade shows. We do a lot of work in the leisure marine industry and consequently go to a number of boat shows. And I became increasingly frustrated on behalf of the exhibitors with the number of stands that had people on doing nothing to help the business grow and develop. It's a massive investment for both the organisation and the people involved to go along to these trade shows. Very often you pay a lot of money. Some of them are free, but very often you pay a lot of money. And the main purpose is to build your business. As a result of that, I thought, okay, well, let's do something about it. So we ran an exhibition skills course for one of our marine clients, and it just transformed the next Southampton boat show. After that, they had a large number of leads. They converted it into quite significant business. And as a result of that, we started to do some more exhibition skills workshops.
So your company, GL Connects, it does coaching and that sort of thing as a sort of wider remit. But
yeah, our overall aim is to help small businesses, predominantly small businesses, grow and develop their people, which will result in increased profitability and sales. And we do that by working very closely with the organisation to really understand the pain points they've got, what's keeping them awake at night, and then putting something together to help them with that, which is always practical, so they can immediately, we've done something with them, they can use it immediately. And we make it highly interactive, fun, because people learn and retain information in that way.
Oh, no, I certainly do, yes. I'm not a reading or a watching kind of person. I'm definitely an interactive kind of learner. So let's talk about if you're a first time expo or trade show person, you've got one coming up. Let's think about some things you should be doing and thinking about beforehand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pre-planning, absolutely essential. So have a think about what your stand is going to look like. Usually the organisation that's putting on the exhibition or expo will have given you a certain amount of space, which may or may not have power, but you're basically given a shell, and it's your opportunity to decide what your stand will look like. So it's well in advance of the actual date of the expo or exhibition, thinking about what you're going to have on your stand, your point of sale or POS, what's going to attract customers to your stand rather than anybody else. If you are going to consider any sort of giveaways or leaflets or collateral of some sort, deciding what that might look like, where you're going to source it from, because there's usually a lead time of some sort, and way before the actual day, knowing exactly what you're going to do when you arrive.
Yeah. And even in terms of practical things like a trolley to carry your things from the car to the expo site. And
Yep, a little sack barrow or something like that. And if you have got power, thinking about what tech you might use and making sure that you're fully aware of how that tech is going to work. Because tech is great when it works, and when it doesn't, it's a bit of a letdown.
Yeah, if you're going to be using Wi-Fi in that environment,
Yep.
Probably not so ideal, perhaps. So we've done our preparation. We've got some leaflets printed, some cards printed. I guess the sort of people you should be sending, if you've got a choice of people from your team, are the ones that are the talkers, that like talking to people. You don't want to send the IT guy who's just sat in the corner and, it's the people that talk you want to send.
Yeah, ideally you want people that love engaging with other people in conversation.
Yeah.
Because you need to stand out. Your stand needs to be extraordinary so that people will stop by and have a chat. And the main way you're going to do that are the people or the person that is actually going to greet and host your stand, greet people and host your stand.
And are there sort of tips to do with the organisers of the expo? I mean, can you request good spots at expos, or can you request extra things in advance, or does that cost extra in general?
It depends a lot. So very often the number of stands available will have been decided. If they're selling them, there will be, if the organisation is selling those spots, they will be graded according to prime spot and not so prime spot, which will cost differently. There may be other facilities as well. So the amount of space that you get, the number of power sockets, the number of seats that your particular stand will hold, it depends very much on the organiser and the space that's available on that particular exhibition.
Yeah. So come the day of the exhibition, the expo, I've set my stand up. So all I've got to do really is just sit down behind the stand, fold my arms, get my phone out, some nice snacks, and I'm away, aren't I?
And that is exactly what frustrated me and encouraged us to put together this exhibition skills workshop, because I saw so much of it and continue to see people sitting there having a snack, etc. So on the day, make sure you arrive in plenty of time to set your stand up before the expo starts, before the exhibition starts. It's ideal if you are ready to go as the first person walks through the door and you're relaxed and comfortable and ready to have a really good 4, 5, 6 hours, whatever it may be. So as you've prepared your stand before you even get there, make sure it's set up like that, you're comfortable with it, the tech works, and you just feel as though you're relaxed and ready to go.
And is it good to give out some freebies, do you think? I mean, the key ring or the pens and things, do they help?
If you're going to give away freebies, think about it very carefully. Think about the cost. If you are going to give things away, make sure that they're well branded so people can come back to you if they've had a good experience on your stand. So freebies are good, and one of the best types of freebies is where you engage with the customer, as a result of which they get something. So you can then start about taking their details, because that is going to enable you to do the follow-up afterwards.
Yeah. And devices that enable you to capture people's details easily, perhaps also when you've got a queue of people. Maybe you've got a big pot and you're doing a raffle, so you can put a business card in the pot. That's an obvious one, isn't it, that's often done?
It is, yeah. And these days there are many other ways of capturing people's attentions. So you can have the business card in a pot, you can do quizzes, you can do a quick health check on somebody's business, depending on what you're selling. One of the main objectives for you is to engage with the customer, the potential customer, and then make sure that you can speak to them again after the event, because it will be a snapshot in time for them. They'll be just wandering around, and you have a very few seconds to engage and form a relationship with that person.
And it's got to be really obvious, hasn't it, from your stand, what you do. I've walked past a few stands sometimes myself, and I thought, I'm not quite sure what your business actually does. That's got to be obvious.
Make it clear exactly what you do, and be prepared to talk eloquently to anybody that's passing or that you engage with about the benefits for them of doing business with you.
And what's a good sort of introductory phrase to get someone's coming over to you, just greet them, say hi.
Hi, how are you? What brings you here today? What is it about, in this particular case, Hillingdon Expo, that's encouraged you to come along today? And then let them do a little bit of talking so you can find out about what they're there for, and then see how you can match your product or service to their requirements.
So 5 or 6 hours is quite a long time, isn't it? And you're on your feet for a while. I mean, it's good to bring some drinks and snacks, but perhaps eat them and drink them surreptitiously, or go off and have a break and leave your colleague and have shifts and whatever.
If you're lucky enough to have more than one person on the stand, then I would highly suggest that there's no eating. Certainly eating snacks on the stand, maybe have a bottle of water just to keep yourself lubricated, but no eating or drinking. And the other key thing is no devices, other than devices where you're collecting data.
Yeah. And then I'm sure those slide up sign manufacturers must make a fortune out of these expos, because everybody has to have one of those pull up
Yep.
signs. It seems they're good. They take up no space and they pack away. But that's the done thing. It seems, a slide up sign.
Again, it's got to tell a message. It's
Yeah.
got to have your message on there, very clearly branded, and what you do, and if possible, some way of attracting people to stop and look at it and do something with it or near it.
So we've had a good day at the Expo. We've got some nice data, some possible leads. What do we do afterwards then to follow up?
And this is where a lot of people do nothing at all. A lot of the day you're going to be chatting with people, and before they go, ideally you'll capture their contact details with their permission due to GDPR. And there's a whole load of information out there to make sure that you are covered legally with GDPR. Certainly, your success is likely to come from the subsequent follow-up and the follow-up to the follow-up, because very often the first time you contact somebody, they may well have been inundated with contacts from that particular exhibition or expo, and it may be the second, third, or fourth. Actually, the fourth contact, in percentage terms, is when you're much more likely to start that relationship.
Mm. Now, obviously, the Hillingdon Expo's coming up on the 28th of May.
Yep.
I think the date to be an exhibitor has passed, but definitely go along on the day to visit. It's a great day. I'll be there. I guess you'll be there.
I've been to every expo since they started, and in my opinion, it is probably the best organised and most successful expo that I've been to. It's buzzy, it's exciting. The organisation is really good, so it is always a very, very good day on the day. What counts is what happens afterwards.
Yeah. Now, you're doing a workshop which isn't just aimed at people exhibiting at the Expo. It's aimed at anybody who interfaces with customers. That's at the Charter Building on the 5th of May.
Yep.
What happens there?
We have 2.5 hours together. There are likely to be up to 10 or 12 people. And we will go through the whole process from when you first sign up to when you do the post-expo work to really engage with those potential customers. Highly interactive, so we'll be doing some work about how you plan for the expo, what your stand might look like, what's going to be on it. We go through the day itself and how you can make sure that you maximise the benefit of your investment in time, and the cost of that time as well, which is quite significant. And then, as importantly, what happens after the expo in terms of following up on the data collection.
Should be a good morning. You might sign up.
Please do. We'd be delighted to see you.
Now, for more information on some of the stuff that you do, we can head to glconnects.com.
Yep.
And you can read all about Geoff's work and contact him there. And don't forget the Expo, 28th of May. Geoff, it's been amazing. Thank you so much for popping in.
My pleasure. It's been really good.
I've learnt lots there. That's great.
And we'll look forward to seeing you on the 5th of May.
Yeah. Cheers for now. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.